brakes, it'll take you longer than a football field to stop because you're going to have to slow down. What we're going to do now is bring in Joe Matthews. He's a former Miami Beach detective of the SWAT team. He's on the phone with us watching this. You're seeing some earlier video again as we work to get that helicopter shot. Is this back live, you guys, now? It looks like we're back on. All right, Joe, so you saw that exchange between the officers, their guns drawn. He's at an intersection. It looks like he stopped. Now he's back on the interstate. What do you make of what's happened so far?
Well, hi, Jenna. I think what they're going to try to do is try to keep him on I-95 because if he heads north and he passes Broward County, then the traffic considerably lightens up and they could take some defensive moves in trying to stop him. And what they might do is there's many municipalities going up and down. What happened?
Sorry, Joe. We're just going to stop here to see what we just saw. Pretty unbelievable stuff.
Wow.
Holy cow.
That's the way these things can end, and boy, that appears to be a tanker truck. Whether that's a fuel tanker or something like a milk truck, hard to know. You can see the smoke pouring out of there, probably from the exploding airbag. Very often these would-be escape artists aren't going to be wearing a seatbelt, so he could be in bad shape in the front of that Ford Explorer. Wow, he hit that thing hard. And whether this was a survivable accident, even with an airbag, tough to know. You can see they've got a dog there at the ready. They may send the dog in first to see whether this guy is even conscious or even alive at this point. Suspected of a strong-arm robbery. That's the kind of thing where a person will walk up to someone on the street or, at a gas station, whatever, stick a gun in their belly and say, give me the money. Okay, there is some movement. Okay, yeah, you can see he is apparently conscious and able to follow instructions. Police must have told him to reveal his hands, and that's what he's doing. Wow.
Well, we don't normally see it end that way, right? And it's not over yet. You can see as the officers are trying to approach this car, you see, as John mentioned, the dog there as well. Now what's next, really, right? You have a guy, you don't even know if he's injured in the car, and you also have the guy that was in the back of a tanker truck that just got rammed. Hopefully he's okay, because this guy who was driving was certainly moving at some fast speeds. It doesn't even look, does it, John? He's trying to get out of that car. Who knows if he can even open that door?
I'm sure he is at this point following police instructions. They have told him to reveal his hands and crawl out slowly, and that's exactly what he's doing. Probably can't get out the door because the impact would have jammed it closed. So that's why he has crawled out like that. You know what? I have trouble feeling sorry for a guy like that. Again, a suspect in a strong-arm robbery caused all kinds of mayhem. You can imagine the panicked drivers who had this guy flying by. He was blowing through intersections, all kinds of mayhem. Just imagine being one of those drivers who was next to him when police thought they had him stopped. They jumped out with their guns drawn, and then he takes off again. The driver of that truck that he hit, look at that, pretty much tore off the rear fender of that tanker truck. If that's a fuel tanker, and it's not clear that it is, but if that's a fuel tanker, man, we are lucky that this thing did not end in a conflagration, because, wow, you can see what could have happened there.
And look at that. You have about 20 different police cars right there on scene, and it looked like we had obviously a dozen officers around the vehicle just checking to see if anyone else is inside. We didn't have any other reports that there was anyone else inside that Ford Expedition. But you never know, and that's what's really the key part of some of these car chases. Not only is it for the public, but when these guys take off, they really put other law enforcement in danger as well. And this guy looks like he's having a little trouble walking. That certainly was a serious accident.
You can see he's limping. Maybe our control room is going to be re-racking the video of the actual end of this thing, and it ended about as well as could be expected given the circumstances. Sure. It appears that the driver obviously survived. Nobody else hurt or even badly injured. I can assume that the driver of that truck, here's how it ended. Wow. Yeah, he tail-ended that tanker truck there that then pulled over to the side, and obviously a bad judgment call on the part of the would-be escape artist here.
And we're learning now exactly how fast this guy was moving. According to the helicopter reporter for WSVN, it was looking like he was going over 90 miles per hour, potentially when he hit that tanker. And you can see the damage it caused the car, let alone the driver at this time. So this car chase, according to our estimates, lasted about, well, a little bit more than 20 minutes. Sometimes you get stopped on the road and sometimes the road stops you.
Yeah, well, again, it ended about as well as it could have given the circumstances. That's the bad guy there being frisked on the back end of that squad car. A chase that took police all over, well, through downtown Miami, through some of the neighborhoods in northern Miami, and out into metro Miami-Dade County. It ended on that piece of off-ramp there along I-95, and man, what a scary event, but it seems to have been brought to a successful conclusion.